Quickly, man. Can you hear us? You can turn your volume up now. You can do whatever. Yeah, man.
Hail, Vinny.
Hail, brother. How you doing? Vinny?
It's what you call a boomer session here.
No, but he's a man. Trust me.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay, now
Good to go,
better.
brother.
Now
Yeah,
we can
man.
go. I figured out what the problem was.
Perfect.
So this new tech, unless I got the college kid here, this one that I got working, the main cameras and the damn main cameras didn't turn on, buddy.
Yeah, no
This
problem.
Cam
Man.
sucks, but at least you can see me.
No, you look good. You look good, bro. You're looking really
Yeah,
good.
I feel so sorry for these Canadians. Their ancestors were really screwed up back in 1776 and 1789. They're stuck with this crown, divine right crap. That's why you have Article 1, Section 1. And these poor people don't even know how they've been, screwed up the butt. You just look at Article 1, Section 1. It tells you who's got your rights in Canada, in the charter there. We don't have unalienable rights to give it to us directly by God here in Canada. The crown doles out our rights, and that's one of the main problems with Canada. That, and we don't elect our officials. I'm Canadian too. I mean, I'm both a U.S. and Canadian, like Andrew Scheer. I thought you knew that, buddy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, that's a really interesting point. Okay, and this is why we got Vinny here, because Vinny was actually trained as a lawyer, spent his life.
I went to University of Michigan, American law, mirrors Canadian
nice.
law.
Okay, and then he trained as a lawyer. Then he practiced as a journalist. He's been official.
Not journalist, man. I'm a damn reporter. Hell with those, self-labeling journalists. Oh, look at me. I'm a journalist. I'm better than you. Got to be proud of what you do. You're a broadcast commentator and a reporter yourself, bro. You're out there with the people. You don't care about the VIPs. Just like me. You're tired of looking at the SOBs. You only go to ask them a question when it applies to the people who you work for. We work for the people, buddy. We're not friggin' journalists. Oh, look at me. I'm in the basement. I'm coming up now. Sometimes these journalists really get me, these kids. Oh, I'm a journalist, 17 years old. Oh, I'm a damn journalist. But look who I'm with. Look at me. I'm with Tamara Litcher. I'm with so-and-so and so-and-so. The story's about you, it's about the story in the W4s, the house, whose hands, and why's. It's not about your personal glory, dude. You follow me, bro?
Yeah, man. I follow. You see why we got Vinny? Vinny's a man.
He's not. You got to quit saying he's a journalist, Ro. He's a reporter.
yeah, exactly. You see what I'm saying?
Journalists drink with the politicians. Reporters drink with the people. They're out there in the mud and the blood and the guts and the beer, helping them build the bridges, carrying the dead bodies out of the nursing home. You guys got to check out my homeboy in Detroit, Charlie Leduc. That guy's been doing this long. I used to work. My mother used to work with Lou Gordon over there, old Fox News, WKBD, but it wasn't even Fox News then and whatnot. But I stayed on, helping after Lou died and it became Fox News, in Detroit. I was there in the riots with my mother. This shit that happened in Ottawa, buddy, it was like a big party. When you got a Patton main battle tank blowing a building down because there's some sniper up there, that's violence, buddy. These people don't have a clue, I was in Ferguson when Faith was there, and all that Nazi stuff, how she got in trouble there, and that was violence, the Rodney King stuff was violence. When the planes hit the tower, Charlie and I were there, on 9/11, that was violence. You ever see a urinal melted, buddy, or a doorknob melted, or some guy jumping off from, 80 stories up? Right, these people are, these downtown residents of Ottawas and the politicians are wusses, buddy,
Yeah, they are, man. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Pan is from Oregon, huh?
Yeah, and they got some huge rattlesnakes out there. I keep sending them, like messages in the chat. Show road them rattlesnake. They're lying all over the road. I've been to Oregon plenty of times. Full lefties. Didn't used to be, but now it is. But you got some good people there, walkers. People like when I was in the Navy, I was hitchhiking through there. But going back to the Midwest there, and people would take me up, let me spend the night in their house and stuff. Eugene, Oregon, and stuff like that. I just don't like all them bridges around Portland, buddy. I drove through there too.
Right? There's a lot of bridges at Portland, and
but it's beautiful. All those little rock islands off the coast there. The only thing I don't like is the friggin' rattlesnakes, man.
Right, and the cities, unfortunately, now are just leftists. That's the main thing that I don't like. It's like, I can't even go to Portland anymore.
Yeah, I got a kick out of when the leftists attacked that bike club up there. The bike club,
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Surprise from them, remember?
Bikers gave them a little bit of a welcome. Yeah, that was good. I remember that.
One question, Vinny. Back in the day, it wasn't full of leftists in Oregon?
No, it wasn't so much. There was a lot of conservatives out there. Even in California, they voted for Reagan. Come on,
So what happened? And what's happening in Canada? How would you link that together? What's happening over there?
Well, what happens, like I've been telling you, buddy, remember I told you come on in there with me and see these Soros organizations? People need to get up on this, and that's another problem with Canadians. They bitch, they point at the politicians, Trudeau, Ford, Legault, and everything, and those are just the puppets. Those people get millions and billions of dollars through the back door. The Liberal Party has way more money because it all comes from Soros and his brother from another bank, Hans George Weiss, who fund these organizations through all the little funnel organizations like Arabella Advisors and everything. And what they do is they take that money, they use it to put their people in the power and use it to appoint people. These organizations give a short list. Yeah, make this guy a senator, make this guy a judge, and whatnot. So they appoint them people in, and that's another problem in Canada. All our judges and everything, the senators are not elected; they're appointed. So when you're appointed, you're by the government. Who are you answerable to keep your job? You're answerable to the government. You're not answerable to me, you or Charlie, or your uncle Joe sitting on the toilet right now. They're answerable to the government. We need to get these people elected, and it's so hard to change the Constitution here. They got it rigged, so it makes it ultra hard, near impossible.
What do you mean? Hold on a second. Slow down for a second. What do you mean, Vinny? Makes it hard to change the Constitution? What do you mean it's hard to change the Canadian Constitution? What do you mean?
Okay, like you want to amend the Constitution or rewrite it or something to make, the senators elected and everything. It's impossible to do, man. You got to have all the provinces, all these different steps. It's not like the U.S. or the French Constitution where all the departments or all the states ratify it and it becomes law. legislation. Even if Poilievre was to get in there or somebody else and say, hey, we want to amend the Constitution, it's almost impossible, you know. And they did it that way on purpose to hold this crown power. Ever since 1776, when our ancestors didn't join the Americans, I'm speaking of my Canadian party, when our ancestors didn't join those big parties in 1776 and the French one in 1789, what happened is they've been holding us. That's why they always got this narrative: Americans are wrong. Americans, you know, we want to be separate and distinct. All that is through the ages and all this modern stuff is they don't want you to know that you have rights from God. They don't want you to know that you have God-given rights, because right now the crown passes out your rights. That's the system of divine right. It stems from old Code Louis, you know, the French King Louis back when this was New France, and it stems from the English, you know, system where God, thou art Solomon upon this throne. That's where it stems from. That God gives the king or the crown. The crown is an entity separate than the king and the queen role. You know, I think I told you that before. It's the thing that holds all power in the land, all authority, and what it is by this divine right. The crown doles out everything you need. And Canadians are so used to having their hand out from the government, you know, for rights, for money, for every other thing, you know, and that's a problem. And the government likes it like that. They like you to be all high on. Why do you think weed is there? So, you know, there's nothing wrong with pot for recreational use, but they like you to be all messed up because then you're happy. You don't feel what the hell they're doing to you. Just like the Romans used to throw the big games and the Catholic Church used to throw the festivals, and they still do that in Quebec, you know, the religious fest. They do that to keep the people pacified and happy, you know, because they're damn not sure going to be happy being subjugated by the crown. The Americans threw all that crap out. You know, they said, we don't care, you know, the king, we don't want no taxation, we don't want no rural subjugation without us having a say in it. And Canadians don't really have to say they should, and this is one of the reasons. And then all this climate change, everything is
you know, whoa. It's YouTube, Vinny. Take it easy, bro. Take it easy.
Yeah, you know,
take it easy. There's certain, no. That's
we can't always say what we want, unfortunately.
Yeah, I just say the truth, you know.
I know you do, brother. I know you do. Is this the Boston Tea Party? Was this the Boston Tea Party? No, man. I had to stop him when he starts talking about weather patterns. Okay. Yeah. Whoa. Anyways, there it is, right there. Check it out.